I see we have a couple of people online. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to give them like one more minute because I think we got a couple other folks coming on board, and then we'll start the presentation. We will be recording. We do have you in listen-only mode at this point for those online, but we will open it up for questions later on, and or if you'd like to just type a message in the chat line, chat box. We're just trying to avoid some background noise this morning when we go through the program. I guess we might as well get started then on this. So good morning, everybody. Welcome. Glad you could spend a few minutes with us today to learn a little bit more about Treeno and document management in general. My name is Sean O'Connell. I'm the GEM Sales Manager for Kelley Imaging, and I'm with our partner at Treeno Software, Lisa McCool, who is the COO and Vice President of Sales. Perhaps you got to meet her at a recent WASBO event. I know some of the folks that are joining us today were at the WASBO event. And we just wanted to do kind of a quick review and follow-up for you. Talk about who our partners are. Kelley Imaging, if you're aware of us, we do many things in the office imaging arena. Today's focus is going to be on the document management side of things. We've been locally owned and operated since 1974. We've got 20 locations across the states. We'll show a map in a minute. We've got, it's a large company and growing. We do have local administration out of Kent, Washington, so we've got quick access to decision making. Our people are very experienced creating custom solutions. Today's focus is the document management side and the capture, and routing, and workflow, along with secure storage and back file scanning is kind of an overview. We deal with our other partners. With SIPC is the contract that we utilize for this particular project. We actually have two contracts through SIPC for document management and workflow. SIS, you'll see a logo for them down there. SIS is our partner that comes into play if you have things that need to be scanned down for typically backfile applications. So if you want to bring older records into the system and you don't want to scan it yourself, SIS is the people we partner with for that. And Treeno obviously is our #1 partner for the document management programs. We've had good success in our school districts, and they've done a wonderful job. And Lisa is the leader of that group that is helping our school districts here locally. So with that, we'll take a quick look at the map. Just the areas we cover, we're all over Washington. We do handle quite a few regions in the Oregon area and also in Montana, and a little bit of Idaho. On the top end of Idaho is handled out of Spokane as well. So happen to be from those areas. Would like more information, just let us know. And I'm going to turn it over to Lisa McCool at this point to go forward.
Thanks so much, Sean. Thanks for everyone for attending. Like Sean said, if you have any questions throughout, feel free to post those in the chat area, and we'll respond throughout the presentation or at the very end of the presentation here today. Treeno Software and Kelley Imaging have helped schools and districts manage their business documents, both paper and electronic. Schools without document management have paper distributed throughout the schools and the districts. Documents can be found in filing cabinets and in bankers' boxes. We've seen documents in storage trailers and basements and in attics. Not only is it a challenge to access these files that are distributed throughout the district, but there's also a concern with the security of these files as well. In the environments that I mentioned above, such as storage trailers, basements, and attics, those often are not climate controlled, which also wreak havoc on paper. Information can get degraded over time with ink fading and paper yellowing and just having general aging of the paper documents themselves, which create an issue when you have to hang on to those documents for long retention periods. So not only are they at risk for that ink fading and paper yellowing, but they're also subject to other things like mold, mildew, drying, and cracking. Again, as things like transcripts have to be maintained for 90 years, if you ever need to go back and view those files in 30 years, that can be problematic for a lot of schools. And therefore, the reason why many are turning to document management to maintain the pristine image of those documents as they're being saved and retained. The other big challenge, which nobody really often thinks about, is the potential for fire or water damage threats that are out there. We've had clients who've had flooding in their basements, pipes have broken, roofs have leaked, and fish tanks have cracked. This water has ruined the paper and the ink of these important documents that can be located throughout your school. Now, there are services that can try to repair items that have been damaged by water by doing some freeze drying processes, but these are expensive and they also don't guarantee that they're going to be 100% readable after they go through that process. And such with fire and water, they can definitely destroy that paper document, and their paper really offers no protection to that document, where when you've scanned into a document management system, you are maintaining a pristine image of that document, which is being replicated and backed up, protecting your information at hand. The other big challenge that we're seeing with paper files within the schools are that things are often misplaced, misfiled, things can be lost. Not that it happens very often, but information can be taken. These are real challenges everybody faces. The additional challenge that we see, especially in district-wide deployments, is that there's oftentimes documents that have to go through approval and processing. So managing those documents in motion can also have problems where it takes time to physically move documents from desk to desk for approval and processing. Things can easily get tied up on somebody's desk. You don't know where it is. So the question comes into place, where is it, who has it, how long has it been out there? These are real challenges for documents in motion, and those things go away when we store them electronically and leverage a workflow automation system to help you manage the overall process. What we've also heard from schools is that the auditing process for when the auditors come onto your property is time-consuming and painful, and that pain can easily be eliminated when you're looking at being able to provide access quickly to auditors when they need to have access to documents, and help maintain your ability to get to the documents you need to reduce your potential of incurring any sort of fines along the way. Documents are costly when they take up storage, they take up space, and it's also very difficult to actually go through a process of purging them at the end of their life cycle, where when leveraging a document management system, we can build specific rules that automatically purge things when they've reached that retention period. As we worked with different schools, we are finding that documents are distributed throughout the organization. They can be in file rooms, they can be at the office, they can be in the special education administration office, they can be in the student counseling area, they can be in the nurse's office. So as you see that, it oftentimes takes time and energy to get up from your desk to actually go and grab the information you need to look at when you need to look at it. That process gets even more complicated when you're talking about a district-wide deployment. Documents can be located in any one of those locations in any one of those different office buildings, and it simply takes time and resources to access a document when it's in a different building. Either you personally are getting up from your space to go to that location to grab the documentation that you need, or you're asking for the assistance of another individual, which is then creating additional work for somebody else, also costing the district money and time. So what we introduce is document management. This helps to simplify all those processes that happen with a paper-based system. It makes it easy for people to get back to documentation when they need it quickly and easily. So what is document management? Document management is specifically just computerized management of electronic and paper-based documents. Document management is made up of three specific components. There's a capture piece, where you actually scan documents and store it on a central location where they can be accessed by anyone who has rights to see those files. It also has the ability to enhance security by restricting who can access files when they're not permissioned to do that. So let's talk about the capture piece. Kelley Imaging is an expert when it comes to document capture and management services. There's a key piece with document management where paper has to physically be scanned to actually be turned into an image to be stored in the system, while electronic files have the ability to also be brought into that central location. So Kelley has that ability to help you with the onboarding devices. I refer to those scanners or multifunctional devices that you have in your offices today that support printing, scanning, and copying. Kelley Imaging can also work with you to scope devices to support your scanning initiative. It's important to understand the number of documents that you'll be scanning in on a daily basis and make sure your scanner or multifunctional device is sized appropriately. Scanners actually range in size and can scan documents at 20 pages per minute to hundreds of pages per minute. So it's really important when taking on a document management initiative to make sure the device helps to support the amount of documents you're expecting to scan in on a daily basis. So again, turning to Kelley Imaging, they can help you with that process. The documents can be scanned securely to the Treeno server, whether that server is running in your office or it's up in our cloud-hosted location. We provide the ability to securely route documents to a central server where your users, once they log in, can come in from any device and access only the information that they're permissioned to see. When people think about document management in schools, they think about the student files and the human resource files, but we all know that documents are throughout the school and the district. Think about all the other documents you store and access on a regular basis. Everything from invoices to manifest management to credit card reimbursement tracking, travel expense tracking, food service documents, financials, documents supporting the free and reduced meal tracking process, payroll files, teaching and learning documents, transportation documents, clearance type of documentation for athletics, field trips, and buses, and the list goes on. The great thing with Treeno is we work with each of our schools and to make it work the way you do. We provide that central storage location where you can store those documents, and we can mirror a paper filing system so it's intuitive and easy to use. You have the ability, once those documents are stored in Treeno, to have a quick keyword search, type in a keyword, and get right to the document or documents that you're looking to see. And with that being said, Treeno can provide the ability to store not only your scanned in paper files, but any other electronic document that you have that needs to be organized and managed. The whole premise behind Treeno is having user authentication processes and being able to set up rules and rights on what people can see or not see, so that we can ensure that you're offering the level of security you need to your specific files that need to be secured. And with that, not only do we restrict what people can see, we audit and track on everything that they do on the system, from a system level right down to a document level. And this type of auditing helps school to address requirements such as HIPAA, FERPA, and PII. So what does it look like? Today, if I walk into your offices, I'm probably going to see metal filing cabinets. Inside those metal filing cabinets, I'm probably seeing manila folders. What you see with Treeno is like I said, we mirror what you do today. So where you have filing cabinets, I have electronic filing cabinets. If I open up an electronic filing cabinet like Human Resources, here you start seeing I have manila folders with documents that are going to be stored within them. Unlike a paper-based system where I can only organize things by, say, a last name, first name, Treeno can work with you to give you the ability to search on many different parameters, maybe by the employee number, maybe by the last name, first name. This keyword search is going to allow us to quickly and easily get to the documents we need when we need to get there. So how have other schools benefited from document management? So like we had mentioned, we can help schools manage all of their back office documents, including but not limited to accounting files, invoices, expenses, purchase requests, contracts, budget documents, meeting minutes and agendas, special reports, and more. By centrally storing and keyword search, staff can have access to the documents in seconds. Users no longer have to get up from their desk to pull the files from the cabinet. Have you ever gone to find a file and not be able to find it because it's on someone's desk or it's been misfiled? Once in Treeno, multiple users can have viewing the same file at the same time without having to replicate and distribute. This allows your organization to enhance your responsiveness to your parents, to your students, to your faculty, and your staff. We also have the ability to offer enhanced security, being able to secure filing cabinets such as human resources and students. We can even secure information within that student file or human resource file. So again, imagine you're head of a particular department and you should have access to all of the documents for that particular department. Imagine that I work for you and I should be restricted to only see a few different document categories that would be in that file. Treeno can offer that layer of security where I can say, you have access to everything, and Lisa only sees specific documents within those particular folders. So again, enhancing that security so we can better address requirements in the security of our student and employee information. We also help to protect documents throughout their life cycle. So things like transcripts or employee documents that need to be maintained for long periods of time. We talked about the threat of longevity of storing those documents in a paper-based world. Within a document management system, things are maintained in their pristine state. They're being replicated and backed up, so you're protecting that information throughout its life cycle. We can help alleviate that cost of storage, printing, faxing, and photocopying that takes place today by providing users access to the documents via their computer. Multiple people can be accessing that same file at the same time. We're going to be talking about how we can automate district-wide approvals and simplify district-wide access to those critical documents. We'll talk about how we can help manage things like contracts and budget revisions. And those are really the benefits that we're seeing schools are taking advantage of today. We showed short time ago how we have this concept of filing cabinets. Inside those filing cabinets are manila folders. Next thing we're going to see is here's an example of how I have a human resource folder. I've taken the time to go ahead and query against the system based on a keyword search. And I could have done that by the employee name. In this case, I chose to search on an employee number, and it brought me right to the electronic file folder in Treeno. When we have documents organized in those folders, we can categorize them into sections. The great thing about this is, one, it offers me a layer of additional security on files. And it also allows me to quickly and easily click into a section so that I can start viewing the documents I need to view, really making it quick and easy to get to the information I need when I need it. So what makes Treeno different from other document management systems that are out there in the market today? I would say number one is support. Number two is our technology. And why I say that is that with Treeno, we can provide any of your users access from any device based on a user login credentials without having to install software on each and every device that needs to have access to documents. So logistically, think about that from a deployment perspective, especially as you're looking at rolling it out for different people in your organization, means you don't have to go and have your IT staff load software on everybody's device. That can take time. It's overhead and burden for support. We take away that headache, and you access your documents via the browser on your computer. Treeno is really intuitive. That fact that we mirror current filing structure makes it fast, quick, and easy to access and learn. You know, for people who are technology adverse or scared, this provides a comforting view so that they can adopt the solution very quickly. The next thing I would speak to is our ability to integrate with applications such as Skyward or any other financial application or accounting or student information system that you have. Treeno integrates with these systems to make it easy for people to file documents away, get them labeled and organized, and link them to systems that you work in and out of every single day. So Treeno's partnered with Skyward and done an integration with them so that if I'm on an employee record and I need to get to the documents in Treeno, I click a button and it launches me into Treeno so I can start viewing those files. We can do that at the human resource level, we can do that at the student information level, and we can even do it with some of the accounting screens that are within the system. The other big difference that we have is Treeno's gone ahead and we've created what we call electronic forms. So today, often what we see is people are filling out paper forms or putting it into a PDF, and they're trying to route it throughout the organization for approval and processing. Once that document's been approved, it's still up to somebody to manually file it away. What Treeno provides is an electronic form that can be populated on a submit button. It basically does all that work for you. It automatically files it into the system, automatically labels it based on information that was typed in or completed on the form, and it will dynamically know where to go for approval and processing. And that's used in conjunction with our dynamic routing process within our software. So those are some of the key differentiators to Treeno. So I do talk about how, Skyward today helps you manage your demographics, your financials, your demographics for your students and employees, as well as your financial transactions. Treeno is going to help you manage all of the documentations that support those efforts. So what you're going to see here, over here on the right-hand side, within the actual computer, you're seeing a transaction here that we're on within Skyward. You'll notice this little tool. This is called our Treeno Connect tool. It allows us, with a click of a button, to be able to automatically launch into Treeno, authenticate the user, and bring them to the support file for that particular transaction. So in that case, if I was on an HR record and I had Skyward open, if I hit search, it would automatically log me into Treeno based on my rights and bring me right to the support documents that support that record. It also has another function, and this is helping us to automate the filing of paper documents or electronic information, getting it labeled and getting it linked. So imagine in this case that I have a new employee who's come in, filled in all their paperwork. I've done the job of scanning it to the person who would do the data entry within Skyward. So over here on the right-hand side is an image of Treeno's inbox, a user's inbox, where I can see the documents that have been scanned. In this case, I would know who the employee is. I would go ahead and create the new data. I would enter the data within Skyward to create the new employee transaction. Once I've created that new employee, if I want to file these documents away, with a click of this index button, that document is automatically going to be filed into a file folder. Without me typing anything, it's going to identify that file folder by that employee number, by that employee name, and by other criteria, so that the next time I hit search, that document is going to be stored in the file folder in the right section. So it really helps to automate the filing, labeling, and linking of documents that are associated with the system. The other key piece we like to talk about is those district-wide forms which go through approval and processing. And what we were seeing here, as I mentioned earlier, we see that documents today are often go through complex routing processes. So what we have the ability to do is take forms that you have today, turn them into PDF fillable forms. Once somebody has this, and this form can be put out on your intranet, it could be emailed to somebody, and it allows them to fill it in. Once they hit submit, it automatically files it within our system, automatically labels it based on information on the form, and it can dynamically route it through the organization based on predefined rules. So again, we've seen schools take advantage of this technology for travel expense forms, personal action forms, time off request, time card approval, group meal forms, new job posting forms, capital expenditures. So think of any place that today you have somebody fill out something manually, it gets routed throughout the organization for approval, and then somebody has to manually file it. We can take out all that overhead and make everything happen automatically. This is a good example of a travel request form that we had done for one of the local districts. And they have a process that when somebody fills out this form based on the school and whether or not that expense is being covered by another organization, like the music department versus the athletic department, it would automatically know where it needs to route throughout the organization for approval and processing. When somebody submits it, it automatically, when I hit that submit button, it automatically creates the folder destination in Treeno and files a copy of the completed file within the system. But at the same time, it's going to know, based on information that was completed on the form, which school it's associated with, whether or not there's a funding source associated with that, and automatically know who it needs to route to for approval and processing. So gone are the days that you have to chase where information is. We're able to provide real-time tracking of where it is in the process, and we can shorten that approval process from what used to be weeks down to a matter of hours if everybody's at their desk and processing work. So it can be quick, fast, and easy, saving time, saving money, and being able to really manage overall processes. So what are some of the next steps? If you're interested in learning a little bit more about what Kelley Imaging and Treeno software can do for you and your school and your district, we would ask you to reach out to Kelley Imaging. We can help provide a personalized demonstration of the solution. What we would want to know is, what are your areas of priority? If we were to focus on working with you, oftentimes people say, I want to start here, I want to start in HR, or I want to start with my student records, or I want to work in my accounting department. Identify where you want to start that process and share with us how you organize that information today. What we'll be able to do is put together a customized demo for your specific needs. We'll turn around and provide a turnkey solution with a proposal for you, and then we're available for purchase off the WSIPSI contract. One of the things that we often say, as we work with a school, is really, how are we starting this process? Are you as a business thinking, I want to just worry about getting my documents day forward, or are you taking on a scanning of all your older documents? And Treeno and Kelley Imaging can help you with both of those processes. If somebody is looking at scanning their older records, there's two methodologies that we can help you with that. One is providing new technology so that you can do some of that scanning yourself. So Treeno has the ability to take exports out of your Skyward application, where we can auto-create electronic file folders so that you don't have to do any indexing of individual documents. When we do that, we also have the ability to produce a routing sheet to go on top of the paper to help send those documents to where they need to go. So that's a tool that allows you to scan in lots of documents at one time, get them to the right file folder, to the right section. Oftentimes with some of the schools that we've worked with, they don't want to take on that work themselves. So we actually have a strategic partner with SIS Northwest who will do all the heavy lifting for you. They'll prep your files, they'll scan them in, they'll help you index them so that you can get up quickly with content. So I'd like to open it up for any questions at this point in time.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, I haven't seen any chat questions come in, but I guess if someone raised their hand, you could maybe see if we could open up their mic.
Let me see if I can do that. I have opened up the mic, so if there's any specific questions.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. All right. Yeah. So where are you going to be staying?
Okay, guess not.
Oh,
so,
I guess there's not any other questions at this time. So I would say that if anyone would like to reach out to Sean, he is available to arrange any private demonstrations that you're looking to see or have any discussions with any of you. So I would say definitely feel free to contact him directly. Do you want to give your contact information, which number you'd prefer to be reached at?
Yeah, either number's fine. They both will route to me. My email is also, I should have had it on here, I apologize. It's Sean S.
Sean, I think I disconnected you for a second.
Yeah,
try that again.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. So my email also, if you don't want to dial in, is Sean, SEAN, .O'Connell, OCONNELL, at kelleyimaging.com, as you see there in the bottom of our website. But please feel free to reach out to me, and if you'd like a customized demonstration, we can focus in on the pieces of your work that are causing problems and solve those issues quickly, efficiently, and economically too. I appreciate you having us on board today, and I hope we were able to learn a little bit. I'll let you sign us out, Lisa.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye-bye.